The final invoice from the caterer sat on the kitchen counter like a quiet threat. 73 days. That was how long I had left until I was supposed to become a married man. I remembered noticing the number because it felt oddly small, like a countdown you could hold in your palm. I wasn't nervous, not excited in a jittery way either. I was settled, calm, the kind of calm that comes from believing you've already made the biggest decision of your life, and made it right. My laptop was open on my knees as I compared hiking trails in Iceland. Sarah had always wanted glaciers and black sand beaches for our honeymoon. She sat on the other end of the couch, legs tucked beneath her, flipping through a bridal magazine. The room was quiet, but it felt full, warm, familiar. Or so I thought. When I glanced up, something was wrong. She wasn't reading. Her thumb tapped the glossy page in a nervous rhythm, fast and uneven. Her jaw was tight, lips pressed together like she was holding something back. The magazine was just a prop. "You're quiet tonight," I said, closing my laptop. She flinched. "Just tired. Wedding stuff. It's a lot." "We're through the worst of it," I replied with a small smile. "Now it's just the fun details." She didn't smile back. She closed the magazine with a sharp snap and turned toward me, folding her legs beneath her. Her expression wasn't angry. It was worse. It was resolved, almost pitying. "Jake," she said, "we need to talk about the wedding, about us." A cold line slid down my spine. "Okay," I said. "Talk." "It's not the money," she said before I could finish my thought. "It's foundational." "Foundational," I repeated. "Our foundation is that we love each other, that we're building a life together." "But how do we know?" she blurted. I frowned. "Know what?" "That you're the one." She said it like a concept she'd been researching, like something theoretical, something uncertain. "You're the only serious relationship I've ever had," she continued. "We got together in college. What if I'm settling? What if there's someone out there who fits me better, and I'm just choosing you because you're safe, because you're familiar?" The room seemed to tilt. "Are you saying you have feelings for someone else?" I asked. "No, not a specific person. This isn't about cheating." That word landed anyway. "It's about experience," she said, leaning forward now, eyes bright with conviction. "Certainty. I need to experience other men, to date, to know." My ears rang. "I need to be sure," she continued, voice steady, practiced. "Otherwise, I'll always wonder, and I can't go into a marriage with that kind of doubt." I stared at her. "So you want to break up?" "No," she said sharply. "God, Jake, you're not listening. Not break up. Just pause." Pause. "You wait. I go out, I live a little, and if, after seeing what's out there, I choose you, then I'll know it's real. Then the wedding will be stronger than ever." She paused, watching my face. "And if I don't?" I asked quietly. Her mouth tightened. "Then the wedding is off. I can't commit without certainty." There it was, the ultimatum dressed up as honesty. "If you love me," she added softly, "you'll understand. Don't you want a wife who's 100% sure you're her person?" I didn't answer right away. I looked at her hand, at the ring I'd spent 4 months saving for. I looked at the woman whose family dinners I'd survived, whose dreams I'd memorized, whose future I thought I was part of. And I realized she wasn't asking for reassurance. She was asking me to put my life on hold while she compared it to alternatives. I needed clarity, absolute clarity. "So, let me make sure I understand," I said, my voice eerily calm. "You want me, your fiancé, to wait patiently while you go out and sleep with other men so you can decide whether I'm worth marrying." Her face flushed. "It's not transactional. Is that what you're asking?" I pressed. She crossed her arms, defiance settling in. "Yes, that's what I need. For us." The refrigerator hummed in the silence. I saw it then, the complete certainty in her eyes. She truly believed this was reasonable, brave even. She believed I would accept it. And that realization killed something inside me. Not loudly, not dramatically. It hardened.
I nodded once. "Okay," I said. Relief flooded her face instantly. She smiled, triumphant, already rising to hug me. "I knew you'd understand. This is for the best." I stood before she could touch me. "I'm tired," I said flatly. "I'm going to sleep in the guest room." Her smile faltered, but only slightly. "We'll talk more in the morning. I love you." I didn't answer. I closed the guest room door behind me and leaned against it in the dark. That okay wasn't agreement. It was a detonator, and I had just pressed it.
The first gray light of dawn seeped through the blinds, soft and pale. I didn't sleep. I lay on the guest room bed, staring at the ceiling, watching the numbers on the digital clock shift silently, like time mocking me. Each second measured a future that no longer existed. The clarity that had been adrenaline-fueled the night before had settled into something deeper, colder, a clarity that left no room for compromise, no room for regret. I moved quietly, deliberately. My phone went silent, then off. I dressed in jeans and a plain t-shirt, simple clothes for moving, for leaving, for reclaiming a life that wasn't conditional on someone else's whims. The duffel bag I packed was lean, a week's worth of clothes, toiletries, my passport, important documents, only what was unequivocally mine. I left the sweater she'd bought me folded in the drawer. I left the book of poetry she'd inscribed on the shelf. Memories weren't dangerous. People were. And she had become a stranger with a familiar face. By 8:01 a.m., I was on the phone with the wedding venue. Polite, firm, final. "Yes, I need to cancel our reservation for September 15th, permanently. A family emergency." I could hear her sympathy through the line. I didn't flinch. "Yes, please email me the confirmation and final invoice. Thank you." One by one, I called the caterer, photographer, band, the same script, polite, professional, immovable. I accepted every financial penalty without argument. Money was just numbers. Freedom was priceless. Then the jeweler, the ring, the velvet box that had once represented hope, commitment, love. I placed it on the counter. "The engagement is off," I said simply. The jeweler's face softened. "I'm sorry, son." "I believe I just avoided the wrong one," I said, voice flat, and left. The apartment was empty now, and I moved through it methodically, packing the last of my things. Each box, each object removed was an act of reclamation. The framed photos, shared blankets, the set of dishes we'd painstakingly chosen, they stayed. My life wouldn't carry remnants of someone who didn't respect my own. The key went on the counter, atop the caterer's final invoice, a full circle. The door clicked behind me. The studio apartment I'd rented was furnished, neutral, citrus-scented. I set my duffel bag on the floor and let the silence wash over me. It was unfamiliar, not oppressive, not lonely, just mine. Then the phone vibrated on the counter. One buzz, two. I ignored it. Voicemail, a notification. Her voice laced with confusion. "Hey, I just got home. Where are you? Some of your stuff is... Did you go to your mom's? I tried calling." I didn't save it. I deleted it. Then I blocked her number, permanently. I sent a brief text to my parents. "Wedding is off. Sarah and I are done. I'm safe. I'll explain later." To my best friend Mark, "Called off the wedding. Don't need to talk. Just wanted you to know." Then I turned off the phone. The studio was mine. No distractions, no expectations, no ultimatums. Just space. The first week passed in a strange, deliberate quiet. I didn't turn on the TV. My phone stayed dark. I listened to the hum of the mini-fridge, the scrape of a knife on toast, the hiss of water from the shower. Each sound was deliberate, grounding. Sleep, which had eluded me the night of the ultimatum, came in heavy, dreamless waves. 10 hours, 12. I awoke disoriented, made coffee, watched the brick wall opposite, and existed only within my own parentheses. The grief that surfaced wasn't for her. It was for the woman I thought she was, for the future I had painted so carefully, for the quiet certainty I had believed in. I mourned the ghost, not the person. and slowly that grief began to settle, leaving room for a strange clarity. I ran. At first, my lungs burned, legs protested, heavy from inactivity, but the rhythm, the slap of my feet, the rush of my breath, became meditation. I wasn't running from her, I was running towards myself, towards energy, focus, purpose that hadn't been mine for years. Mark and I met again for a beer, a baseball game. No pity, no questions. "You look lighter, man," he said, and I did. I felt lighter, unburdened, alive. At work, I dove into a project I had abandoned for wedding planning. My boss noticed. "This is sharp, Jake," he said, "exactly the focus we need." Suddenly, promotion, recognition, things that seemed distant were tangible. I bought a single orchid for the studio. I learned to care for it. I cooked spicy meals for one, experimented with flavors Sarah had hated. I read fiction again, losing myself in worlds with no expectations, no comparisons, no judgments. After a month, curiosity pried at me. I unblocked her number, not to reconnect, not to reopen, but to witness the consequences of the choice she had made. The phone vibrated violently. Texts, missed calls, voicemails, a relentless flood. I didn't answer. I watched them grow, stacked like unread verdicts, before turning the phone face down. The silence in my apartment was no longer empty. It was full of my own life, my own rules, my own space. The orchid sprouted a new leaf. My work thrived, my body strengthened, my peace became active. The notifications piled, meaningless. I had chosen a life where no one could test my worth against strangers. Then one rainy Saturday-Sunday, curiosity's edge got the better of me. I opened the texts. Confusion, panic, anger, begging, manipulation, guilt, desire. 3 weeks of unraveling, a predictable algorithm of someone desperate to reclaim what she had forfeited herself. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I closed the app. The phone was silent, my apartment was alive, and for the first time in years, I felt completely, irrevocably free.